What is happening, beautiful people of YouTube? I am believing that you've had a fantastic week. If you haven't, then let's make it a little bit better as we have our last stream of the week. We are doing our first Superflex startup mock draft since the actual NFL draft. Okay, so lots has obviously changed since the actual NFL draft itself, and we're going to be switching things up today. It's going to be exciting. I appreciate y'all for being here with us. What's up, Brian Styles in the building, JT Sparrow, TD Vultures, Bo is here, Fantasy Condo is here. Appreciate y'all for being in the building. Do us a favor as today's stream begins and smash that like button to show some love. Today's stream is going to be potentially a three-parter. All right, I think we're going to do a startup draft and then some rookie drafts, and then we're going to get into some team playbooks. So I appreciate y'all for being here with us. And the most exciting news, I think, for today, maybe in particular, is we've been waiting for a lot of the bugs to kind of get worked out with our new mock draft system over on the Flock site, but we are going to, for the first time, do a mock draft through the Flock Fantasy site. This is going to be a Superflex startup mock draft, and I think I've put all the settings correctly, and I have a link here, okay? And this is a private lobby, and if you want to get into the draft, Badaki, I'm sure there are people out there who want to. Where are we going to send this link?
Yeah, guys, join our Discord. We're going to send this link in the mock draft tab under the Fantasyland tab. So once again, well, really just land. It's not Fantasyland. Land with the orange football. So join our Discord. That link is in the chat. That link is also in the description. Go to the land with the orange footballs. Then go to mock draft. That's where we'll be posting all the links to any mock drafts in the future, whether it's on this channel or a redraft channel. This is where the new links will go here in this mock draft tab, okay? And I guess I could just send that link out. Like, we've never done
this, but all you need is a Flock account, by the way. If you don't have a Flock account, you can actually get one for free if you'd like, just by signing up with the promo code LAN. You'll get a free account. You'll get some of the features free. I'll put a link in the chat there. You'll see like the annual option on the link tree. Even if you don't want to become a member, you can create a free account. But the Flock site has so many benefits just as a free membership. So we've never done this before. We don't know exactly how it's going to work. Badaki was able to join me. I'm actually going to claim a different spot. I'll claim like the 9 spot. Can I do that? Okay, yeah.
Oh, you can claim?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought it was just like random. Okay, yeah, sure.
So again, we've never done this before. Don't exactly know how it's going to work out. But Badaki, why don't you go ahead and send that link out now?
I'm assuming I just send the link to the web, right?
I sent you the link that you should send. I sent it to you on Messenger. Actually, okay. I'll send it. Don't worry. I got you.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That the link that you sent me is the web link, no?
Yes. Let me send it. Here we go. It's coming in 3, 2, 1. Just to make sure. Okay. That link is out. And are people joining? Okay. Yes. We have one person joining. We got 2 people joining.
Mills.
Again,
once again, it is free to sign up. Yeah. It is free to sign up on the Flock Fantasy website. So if you're new here with us and you have no idea, the Flock Fantasy website is free. You can sign up for free right now, but obviously you can sign up using the promo code and you can get a bunch of other perks. But obviously you guys should already know that.
Let's see. Okay, so we're almost filled actually. Oh, we are filled. Okay, my bad. I don't know why I just tagged everyone. I thought it wasn't filling. Okay, we're good. Okay, so this is a 60-second timer. It's a super flex, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 2 flexes, and we will go 12 rounds, it looks like. So let's go ahead and I'll click start draft, I guess. And I'm assuming we're starting draft in, it looks like 5.
Yeah, it's a countdown.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we have liftoff. Oh, we have another countdown. Okay, so it counts down twice.
Interesting.
Okay.
Should just be one countdown.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're in. This is cool though. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Obviously, the devs in the back end are ironing things out. So obviously, if there's any bugs, you guys already know where to put that in the site issues. I think the devs are really not enjoying having fixes, but trying to make sure that the website, the feature is better. So keep that in mind when you're doing this.
Yeah. Are there any sounds? I wonder. I don't even have like sounds on auto. What's the autofocus? Okay. I don't know what autofocus is. There's a chat. Someone said this shit butter. And then can I sort? Oh, I can look at my own rankings. Let's freaking go, baby. That's a cheat code. Okay, sweet. Yeah, appreciate y'all for being here with us. As Josh Allen is the 101, then Mr. Jaden Daniels, Jamar Chase, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow are our first 5 picks. No giveaway today, but hopefully you guys just enjoy being with us for today's stream, all right? All right, hopefully you just enjoy being in the presence of the community. Appreciate y'all for being here. What's up, Steel Mob? What up, Cam? Abe's in the building. Joel's in the building.
How we feeling, y'all?
James
Awesome.
is here. Arctic Angel, Jacob, Tanner, Uncle Fresh is here. What's up, Cruz, TD, Sparrow? He says, I barely got in because I had to sign in again. Okay, yes.
All right, yeah. I think that is a big bug they're working on. But, yeah. Once again, keep that in mind. If you guys have any bugs, we're going to try and pump some of these guys out, promote the Flock Fantasy website a little bit more. Obviously, Sleeper will definitely be a big part of this as well. But, love.
Yeah, as CeeDee Lamb is off the board, and now your boy's on the clock here. And this is great. I just know exactly where all my rankings stand. I don't have to question any of it. But, yeah, I'm going to grab Malik Neighbors here. No need to waste any time. He is, in my opinion, was the best player available. I like it. I think first thing is let's not have two countdowns, okay? Just my feedback from being the first time using it. Let's not have two countdowns. Let's not waste 20 seconds. And then the other thing is have the ability to change settings during the draft, right? Like, for example, timer, etc., you know. As Puka Nacua and Bijan Robinson go off the board, we got one more pick here in round 1, and it is Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs. So right after that, we have Brian Thomas off the board. JT says, so is it ranked by Flock Expert or Sleeper ADP? I think it's Flock Expert. I think that's the standard. Is Flock Expert ADP.
It will be,
but I think they're building
consensus.
ADP.
Yeah.
I think they're building ADP for the site itself, like for the Flock site to have its own ADP.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, if you guys are, honestly, with any promo code, whether it's us, FSC, Flock, or Domain, you can definitely see any of our rankings. Well, specifically Zach's, my rankings are not on the site.
Yeah.
But obviously, you guys can go through there, which is pretty awesome, and sort by that.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for being here with us. Do us a favor, smash that like button to show some love. What's up, Shane? In the building. By the way, shout out to Bajords, who said, I absolutely crushed my rookie draft last night. Thanks for the rookie guide. I am
that's
glad
awesome,
to hear
man.
it, dude. Very glad
man.
to hear it. All right. Yeah. I mean, when I see Amon-Ra St. Brown available in the second round, I draft Amon-Ra St. Brown in the second round. So we're going to start double wide receiver there with a little neighbors Amon-Ra St. Brown action.
Okay, let's see. I'm about to be on the clock here. Sparrow has CeeDee Lamb. I got Jalen Hurts there at the 107. I die for the birds asking, where's my rankings? So, since our roles change, I just don't have the time to sit down and do the rankings with everything that I do on the back end. Obviously, Zach is more focused on creating content, making sure all of his rankings are up to date, making sure you guys have some of the best information out there. So I've just taken a step back of putting those rankings with everything else that I'm doing on the back end. It is real. I mean, Zach can tell you, changing rankings probably almost every other day is pretty tedious, making sure that all that is up to date for you guys.
It's never ending.
It's never ending. So for me to try and keep up with that as well, I know you guys want my rankings. I know you guys want to have that. It's just honestly right now with everything that we're doing, or specifically me, it's just a little bit difficult.
Yeah,
but
and again,
not saying that in the future it probably won't happen. Maybe things change and everything, and maybe I can get my rankings back up. But yeah. But we're most likely on the same page, to be fair.
I think what Badaki doesn't get talked about enough. I'll try and do my best to tell people, but yeah, a lot of you guys don't really know exactly what Badaki does and what he puts into the channel, and it's a lot of the unseen things. So Yeah, I mean, like producing the playbooks, for example, designing the playbooks, the draft guide that you guys love, the cheat sheets, the rookie tear down tool, all these like things from a design perspective and like outworking it and graphics every single day. And just some stuff on the back end that you guys just will never see. He does a lot for land here. And yeah.
Yeah, before Zach and I were like doing it, we were like, it's actually kind of crazy to think about how much we were both doing until we switched, like we swapped.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah, I was getting a video editor was a huge thing as well. Like
was changed
around this time last year, we didn't have a video editor yet.
No, we didn't. Like Zach was editing the videos.
Yeah.
He was updating his rankings. He was making videos. I was doing my rankings. I was doing videos. I was making content. Yeah, right. Like we were both making content. Like it was everything.
But honestly, you guys are the only reason that we're able to do stuff like that. You guys are the only reason that we're able to have a video editor. You know, so you guys believing in the channel and believing in us so much, it means more than you know. Okay, so after I took Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nico Collins went. Then Drake May, Patrick Mahomes at the 207. Then Bo Nix. I love that Bo Nix start by Casanova there at the 5 spot. Then Drake London, Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, Marvin Harrison, CJ Stroud, Ladd McConkey, and Trey McBride. I will say the one thing that I don't love, I actually wish like people didn't have my rankings because you know what I mean? Like I want the advantage of having my rankings. So I kind of wish there was only ADP and only us creators could use our rankings, but I guess it makes for
that's
a more fair draft, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's what I think what's fair would be fair for us is that if we're doing a draft with our community specifically, we can turn out the rankings just for the draft. So people don't refer to
just
your rankings. Yeah, like just for that draft period. After that, it's like, all right, you know that I'm going to be taking this guy because he fell in my rankings. So let's not give him that edge, right?
That's a
so
good
I
idea,
think that
actually.
could be pretty cool.
Okay, so in the 3rd round, CJ Stroud goes, then Ladd McConkey. I love that start from Tiz there. He got that little stack. Herbert fell to the 211, so the Herbert McConkey stack as well as Jaden Daniels off the board. Then
that's nice.
Trey McBride at the 303, Amarion Hampton at the 304. Honestly, thought he might go higher. To be like full transparency, I thought he was going to go higher than that.
You're talking about Travis Hunter?
No, Amarion Hampton. I thought he probably would go around Drake London. You know? So I guess it's not too far off. But then JSN comes off the board. Travis Hunter, Jaden Higgins. Or why did I say that? T. Higgins. Been thinking about rookies too much. But yeah, Sparrow's off the board. Up on the clock here. We have had similar starts here with the double wide receiver start. He obviously went Lamb. Collins, your boy went Neighbors. Amon-Ra. So let's have a geese here. I agree. 303 is nice, man. It is nice. As Jordan Love comes off the board there. And I'm on the clock. It's a lot of enticing options here. I'm not going to lie to you. Man, this is interesting. I'm not sure I'm obsessed with a quarterback here.
Yeah, I'm glad I went with the quarterbacks because I would have been.
I'm gonna go Rashee Rice.
Upset with the guys.
Keep building those wide receivers. Remember, this lineup is a start 3 wide receiver lineup, so you have to start 3 in this format we're drafting.
Oh yeah, that is true. We didn't put 3rd round reversal here.
Well, that is one of the pieces of feedback I have for them because when you go to set it up, how do I explain?
It doesn't give you that option.
Well, it does, but you can't choose between linear and snake and 3rd round reversal. Let me see. So, for example, I'll show you like the setup page. So I went private draft, and you see here it says draft pattern. It says snake, linear, or 3rd round reversal. That shouldn't be those 3 shouldn't be the option. It should be snake or linear, and then another option if you want a 3rd round reversal. You know, but I didn't want to mess things up and choose the wrong setting. So,
what does the 3rd round reversal do in terms of like if you were to choose it? It just gives you the 3rd round reversal with the linear,
on this mock draft system, right? Like I don't know what settings are the imported settings from it. I'm not sure. As Kyler Murray comes on the board there. Then Mr. Brock Purdy. Mills is on the clock here. and let's see what he decides
Yeah,
to do.
I was just telling Zach, like, I gotta practice for these leagues that we're doing because I haven't done a startup here. So this is good practice. Obviously, if you guys don't know, as Zach is on the clock here, he has Malik Neighbors and Monroe St. Brown, Richie Rich as he's making his pick.
Yeah,
We have those leagues that we're starting up.
I got a lot of great options here. I think I'm gonna go JJ McCarthy here as my first quarterback off the board in the 404.
Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting type of dip here.
Yeah.
Can he give you tiers? That'll be awesome if he can show you your tiers as well in here.
JT says, since you can do this, could you theoretically build a whole fantasy platform? Theoretically, I think yes. Is it something I think we're going to be focused on? Probably not, just because I don't know. Like, maybe in the future it's something we'll do, but I think it's just a lot of time and effort that's put into that. And I'm not sure it's what we are wanting to invest in right now as far as the site. There's so many other things that we can do for you guys. Sleeper's still at the top of the game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think just integrating. I think what's the difference with this for us as I make my pick
What's
here.
up, Brizzleton? Welcome in. Appreciate that, Cam. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I'm going to take a running back here. Take the Vaughn. I think what makes this interesting for us is that we can integrate our community with our rankings here. You can't do that on Sleeper, right? So, like, if you are drafting or wanting to mock draft, you can draft with the community and then use our specific rankings.
Yeah.
And everyone that's on the Flock Fantasy website, which is awesome. So it's not necessarily to be the main competition of Sleeper. We're not trying to be like Sleeper is better. We know that like Sleeper is the monopoly of this whole thing.
Well, technically ESPN,
we're just trying
for Dynasty. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess for Dynasty, but just trying to have you guys have the best user experience.
Sean Barkley comes off the board there.
Barkley.
We did have a trade question I wanted to get to here from Leo Strop. He says, I really want Jordan James in the draft. He was available after the draft, and I got outbid on Fab. He says, went for 30. I think he's worth a 2026 second. This is actually insane because do you know what just happened in the Echo League?
Yeah, I saw that. And
okay.
This is you.
This is hilarious because obviously this is someone who's not in a league with us, but in the Echo League, I just traded away Jordan James for a 2026 second round pick. And look, you know, I think Jordan James should be drafted in every draft. He's going undrafted in certain drafts. He went undrafted in the Echo one. And the reality is, would I send a second round pick for Jordan James? No, I think you'd have, if he was on my roster, I think you'd have to send a third for me to give him away. I think this class specifically is very deep at the running back spot, so you're getting a lot of running backs on the waiver wire that are worth in a lot of drafts like third round picks. I mean, Jordan James, fourth round pick to a landing spot where we love running backs long term. So yeah, I wouldn't have sent a second. Someone sent a second to me. I accepted it. And, you know, controversy apparently in the chat. But yeah, so I wouldn't send a second. I'd be happy to send a third for Jordan James. That would be my reply, personally. Where do you stand on it?
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not sending a second. I think it's going to be interesting with that depth chart, right? Obviously CMC's there. Then you have Isaac Garendo, and they're just two different types of backs there.
Yeah.
It's just going to be hard to see that come to life there for Jordan James.
For someone who doesn't believe in CMC, that's surprising that you're so anti-Jordan.
I guess I think it's still like the depth chart. It's just, if we really look at the 49ers depth chart, didn't they pick up like Elijah Mitchell as well?
No, they didn't.
Or they had Elijah Mitchell.
Kansas City. Jordan Mason was shipped off to Minnesota.
That's who it was. So Isaac Garendo and then Patrick Taylor. That's who it was. Not saying that Patrick Taylor's better. Yeah. Look, it just really depends on it. I think if Chris McCaffrey goes down, I think Isaac is the number one guy. I think he's the more talented back.
I think right now that makes sense, but anything's possible. Look, it'd have to be a third for me. I wouldn't send a second, but I was sent a second in the league today when I woke up and I accepted the offer. So I would say the counter will be a third there if you're going to counter. I think a third is more than fair. As Bucky comes off the board there at the 410, Roma Dunze at the 409. Dunze is really difficult to value at this point. I still think he's a great buy low. Fourth round seems high based off of where he's being traded. Like, think about that. Travion Henderson right now is kind of like around the 103 in rookie drafts, and nobody would be willing to send the 103 away for Roma Dunze right now in a league. So it's interesting to see his selection here in a startup versus the trade market, because you it feels like you can't even send the 107 for, a Dunze, or get the 107 for a Dunze. So that's pretty interesting.
I agree. I think that's what I was scratching my head on there with HN or Rome. And I was like, oh, I'm still gonna be happy with the players that come back to me here at the 5-7. So let's just wait and see what happens here, but that's kind of where I was at.
I'm actually on the clock in a FastDrafts Origins tourney at the moment while I'm doing this at the same time. Zay Flowers off the board at the 501. A little early for me for Zay. I mean, he might have... I don't know if he was my best available wide receiver or not, but feels a little early.
Yeah, I would agree.
As Cam Ward comes off the board, Kyron Williams off the board at the 502. It's so interesting to think like rookie draft values and then be in a startup draft and see where all these players are going, Like Matthew Golden falls to the 201 in pretty much every rookie draft you and I are in. So to see him go at the 505, ahead of like a Trevor Lawrence, it's all just super interesting to kind of see it all unfold, I guess.
Oh man, this makes me want to have. This makes me wish I took Rome, because I'm happy with the running backs here. Now I feel like, you know what? I'm just going to hit running back, actually. I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor. I'm not a big Jonathan Taylor guy, but I'll take him here at the 5-7.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I think the value is better at the running back position right now.
As Devonta Smith comes off the board. And yeah, this is beautiful. I think Dak Prescott in round 5 is perfect. I'll take that. Actually thrilled with this start to the draft so far. Neighbors, Amon-Ra Rice, 3 wide receiver start league. Double tap quarterback in round 4 and 5. Feeling pretty good about this so far. It's cool. I like using this. This is interesting. I kind of wish we can change it to 30 seconds now, but I don't think we can change it when the draft has begun. As Mr. Laporta is off the board here. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Do us a favor, smash that like button to show some love. Got a like goal today of 100 likes. With your help, I think we can get there. Potentially. We're almost halfway there, which is incredible. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. We will be doing some team playbooks at the end of today's stream. And we've already got some people in the queue, which is great. So if you want to get into today's stream, we have some room for some live same-day playbooks. I'll put a link in the chat for you there. But into round 5, where we had Trevor Lawrence at the 506. You took JT. Then we had Devonta Smith come off the board. Dak Prescott, Sam Laporta. Xavier Worthy goes at the 511. Then Josh Jacobs at the 601. Bryce Young came off the board at 512.
Not bad here. I'm liking what's happening. Makes me feel better about JT. See, maybe one other person. They go RJ Harvey. Wow, RJ Harvey over somebody.
Yeah, I was always very curious to see RJ Harvey's price, like what it was going to be in this specific format. It's a little scary because if you look at the guys around him,
change that.
Let's see. I'm just on the board in a fast draft as well. Just gonna make
We should
a couple
change
picks.
that to.
Caleb Johnson went off the board there, and now I'm on the clock. And wow, okay, interesting. Interesting.
How do you feel about Oh, yeah, on the clock here.
I am going to. I'm going to draft Ken Walker here.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say, how do you feel about me changing? You see how it says, "Want to jump the queue"? Maybe we change it to "Want your question answered."
Sure. I think that's what it used to be on the redraft channel when we were nonstop. So I think that's why that was.
That's why I was there. Want your question answered. Let me update that. Right. Okay. Why is people not liking? Why aren't people liking this running back here?
Which one?
I'll take him.
Okay.
Chase Brown.
Yeah, I was thinking about Chase Brown.
I was wondering. I thought Chase Brown was going to go, and then that was like my last guy in that tier. So it was JT and Chase Brown will be the last guy, and then it would be technically James Cook, but he normally falls to me anyway, so I never take him, because I normally just wait until he falls.
Right.
But there's still so many wide receivers that I would be okay with here, unless they all about to go crazy. Let's see. It's a big risk. I normally don't go running back heavy here, but. Let's see, that's updated. Super chat. Want your question answered. Boom. Here we go.
All right. So after I took Ken Walker, we had Olave go off the board, Chase Brown, DK Metcalf, and DJ Moore.
Maybe ask a question. Ask a question. Ask a question is better. Sorry, I'm doing this in the back end with my mind. Yeah, DJ Moore. I think it's a good pick there.
I think the value is great. Is that it?
I just put ask a question.
Nah,
maybe.
Let's. I think we should be more specific. Yeah.
Okay,
anyway,
let's see.
Arctic Angel says someone took Fields in the 4th in our startup. That's happening. Oh my gosh. Okay. Is it doing this for you where every time someone makes a pick, it like moves the board down now? It's a little bit frustrating.
Let me see. I haven't really noticed it. Let's see when James makes his pick, and if it does, that's for me.
Tyboz says Flock Fantasy is an excellent tool, though, for so many other things. Questions, trade calculator, now mock drafts. I'm excited for what's to come. Same here, my friend. I am right there with you.
I missed it. I didn't see it. Okay, it says make your pick. Is it only when you're in the big screen though?
Well, watch my screen. After Tiz makes a pick, it's gonna move the entire draft board down. You see that? Every time. I want to see the top of the draft board. Stop pushing it down.
Right, okay.
Appreciate you, Styles, for being a member for 25 months. He says prediction on rookies most likely to bust in year number 1. It's a good question. Not a fun one to answer.
Not a fun one to answer. For me,
no one stands out as a bust to me. I just think that we should have proper expectations on like the Igbukas, the Burdens.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm not going to.
Even the tight ends like Loveland, Warren. I think we should have proper expectations for those 4. I don't think that any of them will bust, but oh Lord, I'm about to bust. But I just think the expectations might be too high.
I think, for me, I think the expectation that is too high right now, which I do have, I'm pretty sure I do have him on my team or a team, is probably RJ Harvey. I think everyone's expecting with the second round draft capital or second. I'm not saying that like he is going to be a guy that is going to kind of like what you're saying, expectations. Like people are drafting him and it's like, all right, this guy's he's gonna change my team. He's going to be the difference maker. You're hoping that he's going to be a top 20 guy. In reality, he might be like 27, 28. And you're like, well, he's only averaging 8, 7, 9 points per game. And I like RJ Harvey. I think he's going to have a good year. I just think those expectations are a bit too high with the way we're kind of seeing some things right now. Yeah, see, I think Golden's also a good one. A lot of expectations. I feel like I've changed my tune on Golden in the sense of like, I wonder how quick they're going to integrate him into that offense. I'm a little bit nervous about like, all right, is it going to be immediate? Are they going to move him? I would imagine he should be on the field immediately, but like I know how much they like Romeo Dobbs, even though he means nothing. Do they still value Jaden Reed in that way, where they really want to continue to utilize him? So I think they're all good points. But give me a sec. I'm about to run to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess it's just you and me, guys. Should we talk and have some dirty secrets? What should we say? Let's see. Green Bay, I was actually talking to someone about this in the comment section today. They do have a very neutral pass rate. I just don't think, it's just my humble opinion, I don't think that they really had a wide receiver they trusted that they could funnel targets through. That's my opinion on the situation. I know not everyone's going to share the same opinion, but yeah, I just genuinely don't believe they had a wide receiver that they felt like they could trust, that they could funnel those targets through, and that's why I don't think they had that as a big part of their game plan. And I do think that probably is going to change if they view... Okay, I mean, I'm not the biggest CMC guy, but I can't let him fall any further. 7th round. Yeah, I'll take him 7th round. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, So yeah. Appreciate that too, Rich. Jacob says the mock board is moving after every pick on mobile as well. I'll tell our devs. Hopefully that I made sense with what I told them. Okay, so Tua in the 7th round. I like that. Great draft here from Perry so far. Like it a lot. As Terry McLaurin, Mr. Terry, coming off the board. As Mr. Jackson Dart is also gone. I thought he fell a lot further than I anticipated him falling. And now I'm on the clock. And it feels silly not to take Jameson Williams in the 8th round. So I'll take Jameson Williams in the 8th round. I like this squad we're building right now. I mean, look at this freaking monster we're building. McCarthy, Prescott, Walker, CMC, Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Rice, J-Mo in the flex. Sheesh, y'all better be careful. Y'all better be careful now. Super chat here from Luke. Appreciate the donation, my friend. He says, in a Superflex rookie startup draft, I got offered the 202 and the 602 and a 26 rookie second for my 106 and 1007. Would y'all do this trade? It's a startup draft. In a startup draft, I got offered the 202 and the 602 for my 106 and 1007. That's
Let me have a look. I'm about to make a pick here.
that all comes down to who's available, to be honest with you. Like, if you're telling me a Joe Burrow falls, oh my God, I want to see the board. Stop doing that.
Well, I look at it like, I guess, Luke, best thing you can do right now is look at this, right? The 202 is Brock Bowers. 602 here is RJ Harvey. So you're sending away Brock Bowers and RJ Harvey in the future second for the 106, which is Justin Jefferson.
But
And
Jalen
the
Hurts was
10-7,
there.
which we haven't got to.
Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts,
exactly.
Joe Burrow
Jalen
range.
Hurts was available. So, like, would you want Brock Bowers and RJ Harvey, or a top 6 potential quarterback that can be there?
The only way I
And
wouldn't like
especially
that
if
is
this is
if
super flex.
the only way I wouldn't like that is if there's a player that fell to the 106 that I was like shocked about. For example, Lamar Jackson's there. You're like, what the hell?
Sure.
I just traded away
Sure.
that for Lamar, or Jamar Chase is there, or So overall, I think it's pretty fair. What's up, Cruz? Appreciate the donation. Again, guys, we appreciate all the donations you're doing over here, but we would request that if you want, maybe put it over on the Flock site, just simply because YouTube takes 30% of your donations. Every time you super chat, YouTube gets 30%. So it's honestly, I think it's crazy, but that's why we have
once again,
that's why we have the option
super
over
message
there on the Flock site
Yeah.
for you to submit a super message. So it actually helps support us creators a little bit more, right? But
yeah. And I think you just get a better experience there. You can link your team. Once again, this is completely free, specifically to link your teams on the Flock Fantasy website. So you can link your teams and be like, hey, I just made this trade. This is what my team looks like. And like, oh, we can probably give you a better answer, because what mostly happens is that we say, we need a little bit more context. If this is a 10-man or 12-man, we probably wouldn't do this trade. That's normally what happens. But anyways, Cruz, thank you so much for the super chat. He said got offered Worthy the 301 or 203 and the 210 today. I think that's a little bit low for Worthy. We've seen Worthy go as high as, we've seen him early in the offseason go as high as a 103 to the 107 range. So I think we would rather hold
based
Worthy.
off market value. I think that's massively underselling him. So I think you need more for Worthy there.
Yeah, I would agree. But like, I get it. Like, you're probably looking at that trade as like, that could be Luther Burden and Xavier Worthy, and you probably think Luther Burden is a better talent. Maybe is in a, maybe not. I wouldn't say situation is better.
Johnny,
we have no idea what Luther's gonna be like.
Johnny said the color scheme is tough on YouTube. Maybe it's just me. You mean like you don't like the color scheme? What specifically are you not liking? Is you think it's too bright? Would love to hear everyone else's opinion as well. Obviously, we want this to be the best tool possible. Do you guys think this is too bright? You think the colors are too much, or is it good? I mean, would love to hear your opinions and understand that feedback a little bit better. Appreciate you, Dan. He says, loving all the content. And then he asked about, are you making a video about how much fab to spend on your top, look, here's my opinion. I have no idea why people are so stubborn with fab. I'll just tell you now, I'm not going to make a video about it. I did make a video about my top taxi ads. Talked about like over 15 names depending on the size of your league. But I don't understand why people are so greedy with fab when it comes to post rookie draft. There are a lot of players in our leagues that are not being drafted that I think are worthy of a 3rd round pick in rookie drafts. How much fab would you give for what I would say is like a 3rd round rookie pick in this year's class? I would give 100% of my fab for a 3rd round rookie pick in most years. You know what I mean? So be as aggressive as you possibly can. For example, we just showed you guys the Echo League yesterday, that league that we were in. And I came back and was very aggressive. Like Trevor Etienne was available somehow. Okay. And I spent $42 on him. I spent $42 on Jordan James. We only have $100 during the offseason. I don't care. Then I came back and I spent $15 on Oradon Gazdan. I always say his name wrong. But I have no fab left, and I couldn't care less. Because there will never be a point in this offseason where I have a chance to pick up one of these names, and if I'm a smart and a sharp player, and I can't pick them up before someone's thinking about it. So, for example, there's a name that I'm seeing on a beat report that is talking about a name, and I want to add them, and okay, I can add them for free. And if I don't get them, big deal. But these are guys that I think are worthy of going in the 3rd round. And you're getting them essentially for free. You don't have to give anything away on your team. So that's just my opinion on Fab. I think people hold on to it way too dearly. And yeah, you should spend it freely, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Ty says, someone explained Fab. It's really just a money-based system on Sleeper where everyone is allocated $100, $150, specifically Fab, where you can go out and acquire. So instead of just putting your waiver wire claim, I'm assuming you don't know what Fab is because you just do your regular waiver wire. It goes by, worst record to the best record, and whoever has the worst record is voted first. Where in this one is like actually whoever bids the most is actually going to get that player. And
it's specifically money that you can use to bid on players on the waiver wire, right? They're
only
on
for the waiver wire.
So yeah.
Or you can trade the Fab if you wanted to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I wanted to get some feedback on the colors. Let's see. What did people say? Arctic says, I like the colors. Maybe a little bit too bright, but I like it. It's different. Cody says, it looks good. The purple and pink are a little too close in hue, in my opinion. Okay. Let's see.
You know what's funny? I'm getting confused about what Sleeper looks like now. I need to go back and check it.
Yeah. Shane says, I agree about the colors. I'm so used to Sleeper that throws off me trying to evaluate the board.
Right. So you're saying you are just right. Okay. So I think it's gonna have to get used to. So I can understand where people are coming from. So like from a design perspective, let's be completely transparent here. From a design perspective, we can utilize Sleeper's colors just because you're used to it, but like that's not who we are, right? Like we don't want to take something that Sleeper specifically colors. Like we've taken the concept of making a draft board, right? But everyone has done that. But once you take colors and implement that, it's a little bit different. So we could definitely change the hues to definitely make it a little bit darker or lighter. But I can definitely understand where people are coming from. I'm trying to pull up an old draft board here just to see what. Once again, I'm just so confused about what the draft board looks like. Yeah, so like Sleeper, I think we're used to having, for example, the tight ends on Sleeper are orange, like an orangey yellow, where here they're purple. So people's minds go straight to that orange. The wide receivers are blue here on Sleeper, where here they're red. So we could probably change the colors potentially and kind of keep it specific to the positions. That might be better. But they're not colorblind friendly. I didn't know that. I think it's all good feedback though.
Oh yeah, big time.
100%. So
big time.
And once again, guys, like when you guys see this, like you can go and put this into the Discord.
Yes, please.
Doesn't have
Any
to.
Feedback that you guys have. Honestly, it will be helpful for us because we talk to our devs so
site
much,
recommendation or site issues.
They definitely want to hear from you. So this site issues tab, I'll put a link in the chat here, and you can send some feedback there. Anything that you said today, even if we've already heard it, go put that feedback there because it's good for our devs to have access to it as well. Hey, BM is here with a super chat. I appreciate you, BM. But I just want to let you guys know that while this startup mock draft is happening, I am jumping into some Origin tournaments myself, some rookie Origin tournaments, and I'd love for you guys to join me. This Origin tournament is a rookie-only best ball tournament. The only question you're asking is who's going to score the most points in year number one. It's best ball style. You draft 6 players. There's no positional limitations, and the top 4 get entered into your lineup each and every week. I'd love for you to come join me. While we're doing this startup mock, you can draft with me as well. Download the FastDraft app. Use the promo code LAND. We'll match your deposit up to $50. That is actually 10 free drafts on us. We'll give you my rookie report and my season rankings completely free when you do so. We're going to send out a massive email here soon. I was just updating my season rankings. So if you signed up recently, I know people have reached out. I'm just updating that, so I'm going to get that out to you here very soon as we're actually jumping into a draft right now. But we will finish off the startup draft, but just letting you guys know that I am getting into some of those on the back end. Would love for you to join me. And this Origins Gamma tournament just began. It is a $25,000 prize pool, which is awesome. And I'm trying to get all the money I can possibly get. And would love to have you guys, drafting with us over there. Okay, so in round number 10, we had Sutton go off the board, Charbonnet, Diggs, Jones, Kyle Williams, and Juwan Jennings. I am on the clock here on the FastDraft app. Let's see here. So I am at the 5 spot. It looks like the first couple picks went Genty, Ward, Hampton, McMillan. And I've already got some Travis Hunter, so let's get some Travion Henderson exposure here. It is full PPR scoring over here on the Origins tourney. And cool thing about a draft like this, honestly, is you get to see exactly what people think about projecting a player into year number 1. You know what I mean? There's no getting around it because this is real money on the line. This isn't a mock draft. This isn't just like, oh, I think maybe I can wait on this guy and it will develop. This is why you're seeing names like Harvey and Johnson going high in these drafts because in this sort of draft, people are more focused on how can I win money this year. And that's maybe a mindset we should also take into our rookie drafts because we know that if a player underperforms, they're less valuable in year 2 than they were as a rookie, right? I mean, obviously that makes sense. But, you know, maybe it's something that we should consider as well when we're doing our real rookie drafts. This type of ADP, which is available to you guys over on the FastDraft app, is a good resource. It really tells you, based on people who are putting money on the line, exactly what the community thinks of year 1 expectations for these players, right? So that's why you haven't seen a Jackson Dart come off the board, or you know the Titans haven't come off the board because there's no limitation on positions. I'm actually going to take some Trey Harris. I don't have any Trey Harris yet, so I'll start Trey Harris and Travion Henderson. But yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, no, I get that. MK, I see your messages there. Honestly, man, it would be great if you can put your thoughts in the site recommendations or site issues, because like you said, as a developer, maybe those guys can understand that a little bit more. I'm not necessarily sure.
Yes.
What our developers know.
Love to have your opinions there in the site issues tab.
I mean, obviously you have more understanding of what that is on the back end than us. But yeah, man, love that input. I'm on the clock. Oh snap, on both.
Sparrow says he's got the 101 on the FastDraft app. Third round reversal here on FastDraft, by the way. Let's get to BMF's question here. Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah.
He says 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 2 flex spots, Dynasty League. Would you give up T and Rachaad White for Travion and Juwan? My RB2 is White, Tootin, or Blue. Wide receivers are T, Worthy, DK, Godwin, Shakir. So would you give up T. Higgins and Rachaad White for Travion Henderson and I guess that's Juwan Jennings? I'll be honest with you, I don't believe that Rachaad White has much of any value in my mind. And I know I'm biased here as a clear Bucky Irving lover, but I don't look at Rachaad White and think, yeah, there's still a lot of upside there and, you know, things can go a certain way. Like, no, for me personally, I don't feel that way. So I don't really care about giving him up in a deal. It doesn't move a needle for me. I'm not even sure if I'd want to send a 3rd round pick for him, to be honest with you. So really the question for me is, would I rather have T or Travion and Juwan Jennings? I'd rather have Travion and Juwan Jennings, but I do think Travion and T have similar value. I mean, if we come back to our startup mock that we're in right now, what was the difference over here in where they went? So where did... So T. Higgins went at the
307. I took him
at the 307.
And then Travion Henderson went at the 408.
At the 408. I don't know. Like, I think they should be closer in value. The 3rd round for T is... I'll be honest, like, I don't mind the pick, Vidaki, but it's a little high. 3rd round. I don't know. I mean,
a little high.
Maybe late 3rd, 4th. But I don't know. All I'm saying is I think they should be very close in value is my overall opinion on the matter.
Yeah, easy. I'm happy either way. I think, obviously, there's question marks with T. You can get younger. T is an older wide receiver. Obviously, he's on his 2nd contract. He got that contract extension. Travion, a younger running back there. And T had the injury history. So it just really depends on how you feel about that. I'm happy either way with that trade, personally. And you said your wide receivers are pretty good. You have 2 in Worthy, DK, Godwin, Shakira. And a start 5, essentially. I'm on the clock here.
What's up, Scribbles? Welcome in.
Oh, Pat Bryant.
He says my brain literally skipped Rachaad White's name when I read that super chat. Yes. FX says there needs to be more of a color difference in the hue. Okay, understood. That's definitely, we're definitely taking all these notes down, guys. Definitely taking all these notes down. Would love for you guys to come join us on a FastDraft Origins tourney. If you haven't downloaded the FastDraft app yet, you can download the app, use the promo code LAND at sign up. We'll match your deposit up to $50. That is about 10 free drafts on us here on this Origins tourney. If you are in your rookie drafts and you just have this, you know, this need to continue to draft rookies like us, you know, you're obsessed with rookie draft season and you want to keep getting involved. Well, that's why the Origins tourney is so enticing to us Dynasty players, us hardcore Dynasty players. I mean, for Badaki and I, at least, we're obsessed with this Origins tournament, right? 20-second clock. It goes super quick. You can get a draft done in under 10 minutes. There's very little commitment needed. Obviously, your top 4 get put into your lineup automatically each week. $25,000 prize pool. It's only the rookie class. It's only for the 2025 season. There's no positional limitations. It's full PPR. So if you guys want to check out any other information about this tourney that we're in, feel free to join us. But this tourney is specifically for all of us out there who are obsessed with Dynasty rookie season. I'm going to drop some Torrey Horton here in the 5th round. So in this tourney, we've got Henderson, then Harris, Sampson, Milroe, and Horton so far. I'm trying to win it all. I'm not going to lie. I know Sparrow's here. I see him in the draft with us. But I'm trying to win this whole damn thing.
Just trying to do it all, man. I do it.
I do it. Okay, Woody Marks came off the board there in our other drafts, and I'm probably going to take
round here in this draft.
I'm probably going to take Deebo Samuel as one of my last picks over there. I'll show you all that draft as well, as that startup mock is starting to wrap up there. I like the team that I built. Our wide receivers, we've got Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Rice, J-Mo, Debo. We've got McCarthy, Prescott, Richardson at quarterback, Walker, McCaffrey, Scatterboo at running back, and Kincaid as our tight end.
FastDraft, by the way.
Didn't really love the tight ends that were available, to be honest. I've got 5 seconds left. Let me get some Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. He's probably my favorite last round pick in these drafts. JCM. We're going to start calling him JCM because that name is crazy. But JCM, I think he's got an opportunity to get a serious role there in Washington, so I'll add him to the squad.
Now it's Mafa. I think of Phil Mafa, and I think of Black Panther.
Yeah, true. I didn't even think about that.
That's what I think of.
Sparrow says, I just realized FastDraft uses the same colors as you guys. Well, it's actually...
Yeah, I saw that.
You'll notice across most sites, the colors are similarly coordinated for each position. What's up, Aaron? He says, what percentage of fab are you spending on Kyle Williams in a one quarterback? It looks like 19 maybe. I mean, how much fab do you have?
Yeah,
that would be
that's
pretty
big.
That's dump for me.
No question.
All right. I think we're going to potentially jump into another one. If you guys want to get in with us, would love to have you jump into one of these Origins tourneys. Just a $5 tourney. And honestly, if you only deposit $5, you get $5 matched, which means you'll have a free draft basically. But if you want to deposit and play with us, then download the app first. Very simple. On any platform, FastDraft app. Use the promo code LAND at sign up. We'll match your deposit up to $50. That is 10 free drafts on us. I'm going to send you my rookie report. I'm going to send you my season rankings right when you finish your first contest. The Gamma Origins draft just released. $25,000 prize pool. I'm trying to win it all. Come draft with us. And I put the link in the chat for you guys there to join us. 2 spots remaining. And while we're waiting for those 2 spots to fill, coming back over to the startup mock draft here as we're getting to some of the last picks there. Like the Jordan Mason pick there from Sparrow. Didn't even think about Jordan Mason for some reason.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad pick there.
FX says, spend all the fab on Kyle Williams. I kind of agree. I don't really see a reason not to. Joshua says, Dallas said Mafa reminded them of, is it Marshawn Barber? No, Marion Barber, right? That was his name. I definitely remember him. I just can't remember his first name for some reason. But yeah, he was nice.
You love to see it.
He was nice.
Scribble
says,
awesome.
I picked
Obviously,
up...
we're gonna get a bunch of this hype as well, soon.
Yeah. I picked up Woody Marks off waivers after every rookie draft. I don't understand why no one wants him. Yeah. I mean, I think people forget that. What's a post-draft review? What does this mean? I think people forget that the Texans sent a third-round pick for Woody Marks. What does this mean? Post-draft review. Okay, yes. What does that mean? Oh, I guess you just get to, like, see... Right.
Oh, that's cool. I'm
interesting.
Zach's 10th or 9th. He did pretty shit, really.
No, whoever's rankings I use, just dog shit.
What's funny is that I didn't even draft a tight end.
True. I have the number 1 wide receiver.
About that.
What's up? Come freaking fight me. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I've never seen that before.
And then you can go back and see the draft board, which is cool. And then you can go through everyone's rankings to see who's first and who's last and stuff like that.
It says Zach had the best. Is this like consensus ADP? Because I can't select like what creator it comes from.
Yeah, that was, you can select if you. Oh, it doesn't give you the option.
No. So Zach ended up with Lamar, London, Adunze, Addison.
Yeah, let me see consensus because I can choose it. So on consensus, yeah, it's Zach.
It's expert. And then okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you yours here because I had the option. According to your rankings, you are ranked 6th.
Oh, I'm ranked 6th in my rankings?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems about right. That seems like more accurate to me. Oh my gosh. Joshua says Houston right now inviting a bunch of running backs. People are saying Pierce could be on the move. Yeah, actually recorded a video. Was that today? Yeah, I talked about Woody Marks today. In today's video, I talked about him. And one of the things I mentioned is that when they didn't use Joe Mixon, they weren't really relying on Dameon Pierce. It was Dare Ogunbowale. That was the guy who had the majority of the usage when Joe Mixon wasn't available, or they had him resting, or whatever the case may be, right? So they were looking for that type of running back, someone who could be a legitimate threat out of the backfield. And I do think that Woody Marks also has like some serious, upside. If there was a Joe Mixon injury, I do think that Dameon Pierce would still be irrelevant. I think Woody Marks would get still the majority of the work there in Houston. I think he's instantly the number 2, and they showed how much they loved him by sending that 3rd round draft capital for him. So I think Woody Marks is really undervalued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James said he crushed that one. You love to see it. One more spot here in this Origins, and we can fill this up.
Yes, sir.
Which is awesome.
One more spot remaining if y'all want to join us over here on the FastDraft Origins tourney. 1 spot remaining. If you want to draft with us, I'll put a link in the chat there. But very simple instructions. All you got to do is download the app. Use the promo code LAND at signup. We'll match your deposit up to $50. All right, that is 10 free drafts on us if you think about it. And I'm going to send you my rookie report and my season rankings completely free. Completely free. I mean, you'll be ready to go for your rookie drafts and your fantasy redraft season. You can check out the link in the pinned comment. We are officially in, which is incredible. I am at the 107. Where are you at?
I'm at the 102.
Oh, I see TD Vulture's in the building.
Okay, TD.
Wait, I thought TD was in a state that couldn't play. Or maybe that was someone else.
He said, I'm down in the beach in New Jersey, so I can
fast draft. Oh, let's go.
Yeah, because TD's in Philly. He was in Philly.
Yes, I love that.
He's in New Jersey. Brizzleton is at the 103. Who do you want to take, Brizzleton?
What's up? By the way, shout out to Scotty Disco for being in the building here. One of our lead research analysts. If you don't know, he was crucial in making the Dynasty trade dial, which a lot of you love. And he says, I'm on the Mixon train if you're a contender. If Tootin and Scotty go early, you can have him have my mid-second. I love it. Welcome in, man. Ty says, will Flock ever come out with a mobile app? Potentially. Look, it's something that we've talked about before. I will say that the fees associated to having a mobile app are ridiculous. Anybody out there in the mobile app space would know this, but the type of money that these app stores take from these creators, it's honestly
pretty
insane,
like,
dude. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so
yeah, obviously we want to do a lot of things here.
Again, in this Fast Draft Origins tourney, the only question you're asking is who's going to score the most points as a rookie. Genty went the 101, then you went Ward, then Hampton, Judkins, McMillan, and Hunter, and I'm at the 107, and Travion Henderson is still there. I'm kind of shocked. I have pretty good exposure of a lot of these guys. I thought maybe I'd get some Travis Hunter there, but to get Travion at the 107, this could be a nasty draft. We've got that third round reversal, so I'll hit the 304 too. Let's see here.
Let's see. Yeah, you could get a steal right here. RJ Harvey right off the board right after you, and then Caleb now Sparrows at the 110. He's gonna hit that back to back. Hit that back to back, kid. And by the way, guys, if you are here with us, you haven't heard, we are doing a meetup in Austin, Texas. That date hasn't been set yet. Yep. But once we get that information, which I think we should definitely hopefully get that here soon in the month. We've been waiting for a while. We will get that information straight to you, but have a meetup with not only Zach and myself, but everyone on the Flock Fantasy site. TD Vulture was somebody that came out last year, which was awesome. It was great to meet him. So did Stephen Day. He came out. He's in there. They were both in Austin, Texas for that one night. Had a couple drinks, good chats, and get to meet all of us, which is pretty kind of crazy to think about. But it was so good to see all the support.
It was a really fun idea, and now it's all coming together, and it's happening potentially every year, which is awesome. I went Tootin there at the 204. I know that seems crazy, but I'm trying to get a little unique with some of these drafts. And there were reports that came out today that the staff isn't really thrilled about ETN and Bigsby. I mean, that like logistically makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, you go out and you draft Bashul Tootin, you're probably not thrilled with the running backs that you have if you decided that, you know, we need to add another running back here. But I thought that was pretty interesting that there's already reports coming out that they're not that thrilled on ETN. They don't like Bigsby that much. They think he has a fumbling issue. So, of course, how reliable are those reports? Impossible to say. But I think Tootin's path to maybe being a starter could clear up if we keep hearing those reports, right? Like right now, it's just smoke, but it could turn into fire. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I would keep it. I would wait a little bit. I'm interested because like, they have all so much opportunity to go ahead and draft a running back at a higher point, but I guess there's also the argument that like there was just so much depth at the running back position. They had like a third round grade or second round grade on Tootin hypothetically. I don't really know the reports. But yeah, that's.
I mean, we haven't even had a chance for Tootin to show what he can do, and you're already talking about a future draft pick.
No, I'm not a future draft pick. I'm just saying like how they valued him in the draft.
Right. But you're saying you're concerned about Tootin because they could draft another running back higher.
No, I'm saying that they could have drafted a running back higher and they waited for Tootin to fall. But then I gave you the other side of that coin where I said, well, the value, the running back class was so good that all these players fell. Do you get what I'm saying?
Kind of.
So for example, I'm on the clock here. Give me a second.
I kind of understand, kind of don't understand.
Okay, so I read a report that somebody, like I think you told me this, Rashad Smith, who went in the 7th round, they had a 4th round value grade on him.
They had a mid-round. They said mid-round. They didn't say a specific round. But
okay, specific. But I'm saying maybe it's the same thing with the Jags. It's like, oh, he fell. And we had a 2nd or 3rd round grade on him. So it's just like I just wonder what that value is for them. Yep. Oh shit! I'm on the
potentially
clock again, and I made the auto pick, which is most likely going to be.
That's why we call it fast draft. You need to be ready. Gotta stay ready, so you ain't gotta get ready, son.
I forgot I was at the 102, and I thought it was going to be the 3rd round.
Tootin did have some fumbling issues in college, but for a staff that has that as one of their primary issues with him, I guess it's comforting that they are with ET, I guess it's comforting that they didn't think it was a big enough issue to pass on him, or rather Bigsby is what I meant to say. I apologize, all over the place. As Devin Neal comes off the board there. I'm looking at my next pick as Alec A.O. Manor comes off the board. I can't for the life of me understand why Pat Bryant falls so far in these tourneys, and even in rookie drafts. I mean, he's going like 4th round in a lot of our rookie drafts.
That's what I wanted.
The real ones that we're streaming.
Exactly what I was going to take. Yeah, and I messed up on there.
There's just such a clear pathway for him to have opportunities in year 1. Outside of Cortland Sutton, there's just no one there. I mean, Evan Ingram, obviously, but in the wide receiver room, there's no one there that really stands out as someone that you can't pass up on the depth chart, you know? So, and you have to keep in mind as well, Sutton doesn't have a long-term contract with the team. This is his last season. So if he's not signed long-term, do they like Pat Bryant? Pat Bryant, I'm not saying he's going to be anywhere near this player. I just want to be very clear before I say this. But he kind of has that build. I'll take Taj Brooks. He kind of has that build of the Michael Thomas, like this big, you know, guy that you could play inside, outside, primarily in the slot. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I'm curious if Sean Payton sees something in him that he wants to develop. I am not in no way, shape, or form comparing him as a talent to Michael Thomas. In fact, I didn't really like Pat Bryant that much when I scouted him, but I am very intrigued with that specific body build in a Sean Payton offense.
Right. Yeah, he likes those type of builds, so
Vele and Franklin are present, but I mean, they're fighting for wide receiver 3, in my opinion. And I loved Franklin coming out.
Here, let's see. I am on the clock now.
Badaki's on the clock. He has started his draft with Ward, Besh, Milrow, and Sampson. As right after this one, we're probably going to jump into some team playbooks. Yeah, Mims is there. See, but this is the thing, guys. I'm not saying there aren't bodies in the room. There are bodies in the room. But please, let's not lie to ourselves and say that these bodies are unpassable on the depth chart. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yes, there are bodies in the room. There are people present, but they are not names. This isn't Pat Bryant going to the Eagles where it's like, you know, the clear depth chart. It's A.J. Brown. It's Devonta Smith. There's a clear pathway to opportunities if he's better than these guys who haven't even established themselves. You know, that's really, I think, more the point I'm trying to make. If maybe I wasn't clear. So you went Will Howard. I like the pick a lot.
Yeah, I wanted to get a guy. Maybe he could start if Aaron Rodgers isn't signed.
Can Aaron Rodgers just figure out what the hell he's doing with his life? Is that possible? Harold Fannin Jr.
He's gonna wait till the very last minute.
Like, brother,
very last minute.
Just make a decision at this point. I'm gonna probably draft Gadsden here, the tight end out of the Chargers. So I finished my draft: Henderson, Tootin, Knoll, Bryant, Taj, and Gadsden. Feels like a pretty strong draft in my opinion. But obviously, what is that worth? Maybe nothing. But again, love to have you guys join us on these fast draft tourneys. I'll put a link in the chat again. It's the second link on our link tree. Download the app. Use a promo code LAND. We'll match your deposit up to $50. We'll love to have you there. The great thing about Fast Draft as well, just so you guys know, it is a very young app in its life cycle. It's a very young app. So you have a much higher chance of winning a tournament on Fast Draft than pretty much any other app that is out there that you can play on. Like, let's just be real for a second. That's a big advantage for you guys as a hardcore Dynasty players. It's a very untapped market right now, and you can tap right into that. All right, let's get
tap right into that.
Let's get to some team playbooks, shall we?
Yeah, let's get to some team playbooks here. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Everyone that is here with us. If you guys want your team reviewed, all you have to do is here, I'll put that link in the chat. Team playbook. And then Zach will go ahead and do that spiel for you there. But we appreciate you guys. I think we have 2 playbooks today, 2 live ones, which means that we have about maybe 4 extra spots.
We have 4 spots. That we can I'm happy if we end the stream early. That's fine. You and I are going to go into our weekend personally, so I have no problem with kind of chilling and watching NBA. But we do have up to 4 spots remaining for a same day team playbook review. basically we do your review live, and then you get this beautiful playbook that kind of basically says everything that we said on the review. Okay, you can get that by becoming a promo code land annual Mother Flocker member. You'll get this voucher in your account that you can use through the Flock store. Just choose Zach and Badaki. Now, if you want it done live, you got to move that tier up to the live tier. But we'd love to review your team. We'd love to have the opportunity to give you some advice. And remember, with each team playbook, you're also getting the Dynasty trade dial. Okay, and if you don't know what the Dynasty trade dial is, this comes with every playbook. It is a tool that, again, our beautiful Scotty here helped us come up with, Scoots. And we had an idea. He was able to do the research. This beautiful tool, the Dynasty Trade Dial, over 3,700 data points that tells you exactly when to buy and sell every single position. All right, so that tool and a PDF for every position it comes with your team playbook. So let's go ahead and jump into the first review here, which is from Cam216D, and he became an annual member and then did the upgrade. So shout out to Cam. I appreciate you. Appreciate your support, my friend. And yeah.
All right, Cam, thank you so much. Let us know if you are here. If not, you should be receiving a time code with this with your review here. So we appreciate you one more time. 2 quarterback, 10 team, start 10. That is our classic middle ground here in the Superflex, and I'll put that in the chat for you guys. That is our classic middle ground, meaning you can start up to 3 flex positions. There, he says, really love you guys' show. How do you guys like my chances of maybe winning a championship this year? Okay, we'll have a look, and I can already see Team 1, Night Angel. Pretty big discrepancy there.
Well,
on what that looks
not
like.
The biggest one though. We've seen some pretty crazy leagues. This league isn't too unbalanced.
Yeah, sure. Maybe I wonder if they did this lineup.
It looks like he's already done his draft, so we'll give you a grade on your draft itself because your draft is already in the books. So go ahead.
Yeah, let's have a look at this team. At the quarterback position, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray with JJ McCarthy. That's a great quarterback for me. Don't really have to do anything there. Devon Achane, RJ Harvey, Trey Benson, Tootin, Najee Harris, and Jaden Blue. Good. I guess you can start RJ Harvey going into this year. At the wide receiver position, you can start with 5 wide receivers. Here's your starting 5: CeeDee, DJ, Chris Godwin, Debo, Michael Pittman. So not the strongest wide receiver room, but guys that you can start with Mark Andrews there as well.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Just getting straight into untouchables.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb are your 2 untouchables there.
Yeah.
Your holds probably be Trey Benson.
Yeah.
I would also say maybe Michael Pittman. You can't really sell right now.
At this point, you might as well hold him. I would also add on JJ McCarthy as a strong hold for me. And then I'd say like Jalen Coker at this point. I'd also love to see what he can kind of turn into. Drops, you can drop Nick Nash if you want. I know you just picked him up. You can drop Josh Palmer. Those are the only guys I really want to drop if you are looking to clear up some space.
I see a lot of guys actually on the waiver wires that we rather maybe roster.
Yeah, for sure. On the waiver wire,
maybe
names like Elijah Arroyo should be drafted. So if they're available, let's pick them up. I definitely think they're worth rostering over a Nick Nash, for example, or even a Quinn Ewers. Honestly, like Tyler Shuck being there is confusing. I'd rather have Tyler Shuck over Ewers. Jarquez Hunter should be, Woody Marks. These guys should all be rostered, but it's a 10-team league, and it looks like you have reasonable roster sizes, so that means your waiver wire might be active and vibrant. But just looking at your draft in general, just so you can kind of get a sense of where we are, I give your draft a B- here. You ended up with Harvey, Tootin, Blue, Pat Bryant, and Alec A. O'Manor. Look, the reality is you probably didn't have any picks inside the top 6, so it's hard to give you much higher than a B grade. But looking at your team overall, I definitely think you needed some infusion into that running back room as well as the wide receiver room. I felt like we could have maybe done a better job at, pursuing a wide receiver, but I believe that this was probably the best players available, so you did a great job. With Harvey, with Tootin, with Blue, those are 3 running backs that have plenty of upside. Guys that we're very excited to see what they could do in their year ones. And then Pat Bryant and Alec A. O'Manor are in positions where they could definitely contribute from day one. But again, on the waiver wire, names like Arroyo, Shuck, Hunter, Marks should be your top priorities. And honestly, even in a 10-team league, I think they should be rostered.
I think they should be rostered as well, which is probably why on your graphic there, instead of putting drops, I'm going to put 2 of those guys there as priorities. I think we'll put a Elijah Arroyo and who was the other guy you said? Tyler Shuck, Jarquez Hunter. So one of those guys will be there on that graphic to keep that in mind for you when you're looking at this, Cam. Main pathway forward here. I think this is... Look, I don't think you're the strongest contender, but I think in my eyes, maybe like a soft contend, maybe a sleeper, depending on how things go. I feel like you're right in that in-between of soft contender and sleeper.
At this point, the wide receiver room is the only thing that really concerns me, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like thinking about the starting lineup right now, you got to start 10, so it's probably Allen, Murray, HN, Harvey, CD, Moore, Andrews, and that's fine as the 7. But then it's we got to figure out our flexes as well. You know, are we flexing? Maybe Najee is relevant. Benson, Tootin, maybe they get roles. Blue, Godwin, Debo, Pittman. There's enough there between like Godwin, Samuel, Pittman, Myers, Mooney to form a roster, but it's difficult to say that you can really count on everything working out exactly in your favor, you know. So I'm gonna agree with you. I think this is more soft contend sleeper status in my mind.
Yeah.
So we'll say contend, but I think it is more sleeper than anything. You're kind of going in there. Actually, you know what? I just realized, Badaki, we don't have our first round pick in 2026. So we actually need...
Who does he have?
We don't have our first or our second or our third in 2026. So we actually need
to compete.
To contend. This is a windows open. There's no reason not to go out there and contend right now without any of your picks next year. So we should not be passive. I think we should be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. There's 2 firsts in 26 that he owns. Let's see what teams those are on. Organic and OVO International. Shout out to Drizzy. Let's see. Organic. He has both team.
And the 10th team. So
to be honest,
has 2 early firsts.
The 9th team is good. Like this team it has a great chance to make the playoffs. That's strange that they're so low. Maybe we hold on to Team 10's pick, but even them, like with Hampton, Mixon, Connor, AJ, Metcalf, Kittle, Evans, Hill. I think we could definitely still send those picks away for players.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Like getting some more wide receiver depth.
Who has his first?
Let's see.
It's Monkey D. Charlie has his first. I
wonder what he did. I wonder if that was like a...
I love to tear down from Kyler and go to like a Stafford, Geno, and then upgrade at wide receiver. But overall team grade, I put this around a B. Yeah, is B fair?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Draft capital grade, you have 2 firsts next year was great, but you don't own any of your own. I'll again put that kind of at a B flat. And then again, we're going windows open with a team like this. So
yeah.
Shall we? Joshua says, what's the best time to submit a playbook? Whenever you want is the best time. Whatever you think is the best time to submit is fine with us. Obviously, if you've got a rookie draft coming up, it's going to be helpful to get some thoughts. Even after your rookie draft, I think it's helpful just to have a look at the team, like, for example, here with Cam, and decide what's our direction moving forward now that the draft is over. So really, I don't think there is like a quote-unquote bad time to do it. So, yeah. But let's go to the chalkboard, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd love to tear down from Kyler Murray, and then we need to find out what we can kind of sell those 26 firsts for. I think those 2 moves will put us in a position where we're ready to go out and try and contend this year. So, for example, Geno Smith. Who owns Geno Smith? Oh my God, what the hell is that quarterback room? Okay, that's not going to work.
Okay.
What the hell? That's crazy. Okay. How about Stafford? Again, we're trying to tier down to get this advantage at wide receiver. So could we do like a Stafford Hunter, for example?
Sure.
For Kyler Murray, right? Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Plus Travis Hunter, and we will send you as well Kyler Murray, and let's do a second and third round swap.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, something like that. Might be more difficult in a 10-team league than I originally anticipated, but let me just go from the top to the bottom here. So Herbert's not a true tier down. He has Sam Darnold here. Night Angel has Sam Darnold. So for this one, it would probably be like you could tier down and use James Cook as part of the deal, or Chris Olave. So it'd be Kyler Murray for Chris Olave and Sam Darnold, for example.
Yeah.
Not obsessed
okay
with that one, to be honest, but maybe you can also
I'm not a big Sam Darnold guy, but I like the Chris Olave edition.
Maybe you can also add Burden and Jacoby into it. Like, if you can stretch it that far, you'll know. Maybe you can't. But if you can get Burden involved and then send Jacoby Myers, or if Jacoby Myers doesn't work, I have no problem sending Michael Pittman either.
Yeah.
But I think we would be content to settle for the other offer as well. Let's see here. Okay, so that might work. It might not. Full transparency, I'm not 100% sure. The guy who has A-Rich. Can we figure out a way to get, let's say, Anthony Richardson and Roma Dunze? I actually think that's possible in a lot of leagues. Can you send a second on top of that to get that done? If not, again, can you send Michael Pittman to do it? If Michael Pittman isn't going to work, can we send a Najee Harris instead?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, let's keep looking here. Yeah, it's crazy that guy has like 5 quarterbacks. Justin Fields, this is actually perfect. This team is perfect. They have Justin Fields as their quarterback 2. Derek Carr is their quarterback 3. Couldn't have found a more perfect team to do this with. And Fields is a great contending asset. Let's try and get JSN here. So this is going to be very unique. All right, we're going to try and get JSN and Justin Fields in this deal. But I think you're going to have to send a 26 first. Okay, yeah, something like that. Something like
JSN Fields.
That as like a baseline, right? So clearly you're tearing down from Murray to Fields and then getting JS in there. I probably would pay more than this to get it done. Again, like, do you need to add Najee Harris or a second round pick or something like that? I don't know, right? But I would be pretty comfortable to do that myself. What about you?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Sending Najee there just to get it done. Yeah, or I mean, unless you wanted to get something back small in return,
I don't even mind doing a Dak Prescott move either, if we can find our way into T-Mac.
Yeah.
Scribble says keep JSN over the 105. We're not including the 105 in this deal. What you mean? Oh, this is to Alex. Alex had a question. Okay, he's just being helpful, right?
Okay.
Okay, so let's try and get T-Mac. Sorry, I know we're not supposed to say that. Oh, that is actually what we're supposed to say. Okay, T-Mac and Dak Prescott. And we're going to send you Kyler Murray. Let's do the same thing in a 26 first.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
And then you could go the Tua route. If you wanted to go Tua AJ, you might have to pay a little more. I don't like that as much as the other ones.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Now, as far as contending, we don't actually have to fill our flex with wide receivers. I think Breece Hall is very affordable right now for anyone out there who's going to contend. So trying to get him for a 26 first would make some sense. There's not a lot of receivers, full transparency, that I'm like obsessed with. Like one, there's a lot that you can send 2 first round picks for, but there's not a lot that you can send 1. I'd love to get Rashee Rice. So if we can send like that 26 first and Pittman
Yeah.
You know, for a Rice.
I'm still on the train. To be okay with DJ Moore. I know we might disagree on that, especially if this is going to be a late first. But
he has DJ Moore already.
Yeah. Oh, this guy does.
Yeah,
right,
he already has DJ on his team. But
yeah, right. CD Lamb, DJ Moore.
Devonta Smith, another name. You know, I'm fine too. Just send a first for. I definitely would only send a first for him. And if they're not happy with that price, then that's actually okay. Same with Chris Olave. You know. So that kind of range there. Brandon Ayuk. But in an ideal world, with a couple of these moves, we can kind of fill out that roster and then be ready to contend this year, since we've kind of put ourselves in that position where we have to.
Yeah, with that windows open there. And Cam, please let us know if you have any last minute questions. Well, obviously you're not here with us. That's totally okay, but we appreciate you. I always say that and then forget that they're not here.
You went into default.
But I know. We appreciate you. You should be getting your playbook here within 24 to 48 hours, customized with everything that we drew up here today. Good team. Remember, you have to go out and compete. It's windows open. You don't have your first, so you don't want to be a bad team and then have your pick be the 101, and you're like, oh shit, like you want that pick to be as bad as possible there. But appreciate you and thank you so much for your support.
Yes, appreciate you big time, my friend.
All right,
and shout out to everybody out there watching. We've got one last review remaining. We do have room in the queue if you want to get a live playbook done tonight. But you get your playbook, which is a customized game plan for your off season. We'll do your review, and then you'll get this beautiful game plan that you can execute via the playbook. You can get that by becoming a promo code LAND annual mother flock. Remember, you get a voucher that you can use through the flock store. Just make sure you get that live tier if you want it done live. And it's the same process for our non-annual members. If you have a membership with a different promo code, let's say your promo code flock, but you still want a playbook, you can still go through the flock store and purchase one with us. You just won't have that voucher available to you, okay? And I will go ahead and put a link in the chat for those playbooks as well. I appreciate y'all for being here with us. And let's get to what might be the last playbook of the night.
All right, Jonah, I know you're here. Appreciate you. Please jump in at any point in time. Thank you so much for the support. This is a 2-quarterback 10-team start 13.
Okay.
So this is a really big lineup with the 0.
We've never had a start 13.
Time. No, this is bigger than depth is king, meaning you can start. That means you can start up to 6 flex spots potentially.
Yes.
Jonah, let us know if that is correct.
Start up to 8 receivers, I think, in a format like this. Let's call that depth is king XL then.
Yeah, we can do that.
We don't need to get too creative. Start at 12 is depth is king, but let's call that depth is king XL. We've never had to create for that. Oh, it has 3 IDP. Okay. So in reality, it's actually a start 10.
Yeah.
Right?
Confirm that, Jonah. Is that start 10?
For offensive players, it's actually a start 10.
Okay. So then we should definitely change that back to start 10. So you're just a typical middle ground without the IDP. Okay.
That's what it sounds like to me. Jonah, let us know if that is incorrect.
Yeah, we'll read this context here. He says, boys, help me out. Help me make a monster here. Brizzy is too cocky in this league, and I want to take him down a peg or 2. Currently 3 players over the limit, so need help with cuts. IDP league took Genty at the 101. Some players are harder to trade with, while others disagree entirely on value. Example, Pitts for Rice. Right. Okay. And you're currently ranked 1st out of 2nd. Your team name is Genty in a bottle. I like that name. And let's have a look.
You're ranked number 1. Is that Briz at number 2?
Yeah, let's look at Brizz's team here.
That must be you guys at the top. 2 guys part of the land community. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, obviously he has the better tight end, it looks like so far, when I was just having a quick look at your team. But let's have a look at your team first. All right.
Well, hold on. Brizzleton is here, by the way. They're in the league together, and he says, "How is he first?" And I just opened up this team, and I'm like, "What do you mean? Look at this squad." I mean, I haven't even looked at Briz. Briz's squad is pretty unreal as well, actually. Oh wow, you guys are pretty much I've never seen a top 2 this dead even on value. There are 3 value points different between you two. Do you guys see this?
I wonder why that's
It's
there's
the
a difference.
9-6 versus the 9-3. This is like a Formula 1 qualifying session where you're off by like a tenth of a second. So this is about as even as it gets with the top 2. But yeah, go ahead.
I don't understand how he is second. Sorry, I'm just Bristleton has the better tight ends. I guess the wide receiver is not as deep. Running backs are pretty much the same. Quarterbacks are pretty much the same. Interesting. Okay,
Well,
let's have a look. Like the biggest difference is tight end
Daniels
here.
is probably the difference maker here.
But this guy has Josh Allen. He has Josh Allen as
I know.
QB3.
I know. He probably should be ranked highest. Well, Jefferson would make a big impact as well. Like the Jefferson Ginty over Hampton Bryan would have made a big impact in the rankings.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Interesting. Anyways, let's have a look at the Jaden Daniels, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young. Good quarterback room. Great quarterback room. Ashton Jeanty, Jonathan Taylor, RJ Hardy, Javonte Williams. I think that's also good. You have some depth there as well. At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 5 wide receivers. You're starting 5. JJ, Harrison, T, Rice, Olave with Ricky, Shakir. You got Jack Besh there. So I think the depth there is fine at wide receiver. And then your downfall clearly is your tight end position. Still believe in Dalton Kincaid. Still hoping that he can come back and do a massive bounce back here. You are clearly a contender on this team with this team. And let's just get straight into some admin untouchables. I'm pretty sure you would have Jaden Daniels as untouchable, Ashton Jeanty, Justin Jefferson. I would put those 3 as untouchables. With holds, I would put, let me just type in Justin Jefferson.
What's up, Mason? It was fun, man. We gave some feedback that it was kind of like combined feedback from us and the community. The community was giving us a lot of feedback as we were doing it. But it felt pretty smooth. Yeah. The one really frustrating part was just where I think after like rounds 3 or 4, when someone would make a pick, the draft board just automatically went down and you couldn't see like the first 2 rounds, and that just happened like throughout it. So that was the only frustrating thing. But outside of that, people gave feedback. We tried to include it in that little message we sent to the creator chat, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I like that. I thought it was smooth. I was wondering tier. We should definitely get on a call though, and we can talk about it. Like tiers could be cool in some rankings. You're seeing those tier breaks as you're drafting, and just a bunch of other things that we can definitely talk about. But love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Genty in a bottle, right? Like you said, you're giving him his untouchables.
Yeah, untouchables. Untouchables, Jaden Daniels, Ashton Jeanty, Justin Jefferson. Holds is Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Coker we would have. Drops, we can put Jermaine Burton. You can put Parker Washington on that as well. RIP. You can also drop, I'm okay to drop Tank Dell. I think
in a league like this,
in a league like this, you're totally okay to drop Tank Dell. And then
you could try and trade him for a 4th first if you wanted.
You could. And I would be okay to drop Hollywood Brown if you really wanted to, or you can just hold him and wait to see what he will do in season there. But you're clearly a contender, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to strongly agree with you there. We're a very strong contender in this league. Obviously, it feels like you and Briz are kind of the top dogs, and everybody's a little puppy. Kind of, they're cute, but you guys are the ones that are the real contenders. I do kind of agree that it feels as if Briz should have the upper hand with the difference in Brock Bowers there.
In Brock Bowers, yeah, because if you look at Briz, keep in mind his starting 5: Thomas, Nico, London, Ladd, and Godwin.
Yeah.
Right? I think his quarterback 2 is better in Bo Nix than Kyler Murray. I think we both say that. Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels are in the same tier. Brock Bowers is clearly over Dalton. He has the better RB2 in Kyron.
Yep.
But I guess if you think of instant production, Ashton Jeanty has instant production where Omarion, you can argue he doesn't.
No, he does. He absolutely does. But it's just not the same level because Najee's there.
Yeah.
But anyway, look,
But I think it's by 3 points currently. Like
yeah,
I think this is the closest we've ever seen any teams or any league
so
specifically be.
did you guys specifically
separated.
make this 0.69 Titan Premium, by the way? Was that like specifically done by you? I didn't even know you could do that on Sleeper, or like specifically put it at a certain decimal, but that's hilarious. But it's a great team. Like Badaki said, if I had to give this team a grade, this would be a strong A. Strong A, you know. You can.
If you had Brock Bowers or Trey McBride on this team, this would be.
Yeah,
like
if you had a Brock
vibe.
Bowers to this would be close to Thanos. I mean, honestly, if you add
Yeah.
Genty to Brizzleton's team, it's close to Thanos. So, but two very good teams that are probably going to be battling it out every single year. I am very strongly advising that you pick up Elijah Arroyo. So again, when looking at this is Cam's. Let me bring yours over. So looking at the post draft waiver wire, I keep saying that, Elijah Arroyo, it would be a big priority for me. I would prefer him over Schultz and even over Pat, even though Pat looks a little bit better without Pickens there. You could even consider looking at Harold Fannin as an option as well. But my top names that are available would be Jarquez Hunter. He's one that I definitely think is worth rostering post-draft.
Jarquez, yeah.
Trevor Etienne, Taj Brooks, Kyle Monangai. Those guys are all worth drafting or picking up. Elekeo Manor, for sure. All these names are worth rostering, no doubt about it. He says, Briz and I had the 101 and the 102. I love that. How did you guys have the 101 and the 102? Y'all are dominating this league, aren't you?
I'm surprised that in IDP league that you didn't take Travis, or one of you guys didn't take Travis.
Oh, true. Actually, none of you took Travis in IDP.
What's the? I guess something that you brought up as well that was pretty significant, that like, edge rushers get more points over like corners or something. But yeah, I would have thought one of you guys took Travis Hunter here, but
he says his team was injured. Yeah, right. Marv wasn't great. T was in and out of injuries. JT was crazy in the playoffs. Well, look, who knows? But those are guys that I would definitely prioritize. And for you, Elijah Arroyo would probably be number one on that list. So your haul in the draft, you got Genty, Harvey, and Besh. Love me some Jack Besh, so I am a little bit biased there. But I think that was a very nice haul. I will put that more at like a B+. Very good draft. You didn't add a bunch of names, but you added 3 very quality names. And, can't go wrong adding 3 guys that can contribute to your roster pretty much straight away. So I probably would have preferred to have turned like Besh plus something into a Loveland or Warren if that was possible in this league, but that is neither here nor there at this point. The feedback is really funny for a league like this, because what the hell do we tell you outside of like, your team is great, let's go get a tight end?
I mean, that's...
because if you think about the starting lineup, it's really start 10. It's Daniels, Murray, Genty, Taylor, Jefferson, Marvin, Kincaid for now.
Dalton.
But then you can only start 3 more players. You can only start 3 more players between Harvey, Rice, Olave, Pearsall, Shakir, Besh. So
You said it's hard to trade too. So like my instant thought was like, let's send Olave in that first, Ricky in that first.
Yeah.
Even 0.9 premium, and let's go get McBride or something.
Probably going to cost more than that, to be honest. But
yeah, it probably is. Like, can we add the second to that? Then can we sell one of these? How many quarterbacks do you have? No, probably not the quarterbacks. That's where my mind instantly went to. Olave 26 first. Probably have to add that second, get McBride. But he said like it's hard to trade in this league.
Yeah. Well, we can
and that's probably the only 2 guys we really want. In a
league like this, we can also afford to send a first for Kittle. Wouldn't really want to. Would Like, I'd prefer to make this like a 2 for 2. So, like, for example, Achan there. Let's make this Kittle and Achan. Okay, and then we're actually going to send you Jonathan Taylor and the first. In a lot of leagues, I think you can get that done without the second, but you can decide if you need to include that. Because then I think you're getting an upgrade in a small league at running back, and you're figuring out the tight end position pretty much in one sweep there. So I like that a lot. And that guy's probably open because he has Tyler Warren as well. I'm just going to look at the rest of these teams. I'm trying to... So this guy has Hawkinson.
DJ, yeah.
Can you do like a Hawkinson Burden? So 26 first, plus that second. I don't...
Gosh, that guy wants Rashee Rice for Kyle Pitts. What about Brenton Strange? What is his value on?
Well, are there any other tight ends on the waiver wire outside of the rookies? Maybe. Let's see. So really, no one actually. Okay, let's see who has like an immense amount. Well, to be honest, you and Briz should probably do a deal if Briz is open to it. He's got Laporta and Andrews.
Let's make it even. Let's make it even, Briz. Come on. Just send him Andrews. You're never going to start him. You're never going to start Laporta. Well, actually, you're probably going to put both of those guys in that flex spot, potentially.
Not Andrews. He could sell Andrews pretty easily.
But yeah, not Andrews, yeah, but Brock Bowers and Laporta.
I think like a Shakir for Andrews.
You need that depth at wide receiver.
To be honest,
just in case somebody goes down.
Let's be 100% transparent. Mark Andrews is not attractive to anyone in Dynasty leagues right now. I know this because I own Mark Andrews in some leagues, and I've traded for him for dirt cheap. So, in every league that we're in, you could not get Khalil Shakir for Mark Andrews. It would not be possible. But in this specific format, with the premium, that's why I think this deal makes a lot of sense. Mark Andrews is not worth an early second, but everyone values Khalil Shakir that way. So I'm trying to make it as even as I possibly can. Shakir for Andrews is pretty fair.
What do you think about that, Briz? Let's get something done. Let's get something done right here, right now. Let's do something special on a live stream. Let's actually get a trade going on.
We could also look at a Laporta move. So that would be, the Laporta move would be more like, you can't do a Lave in the first. Laporta's not worth that. But what about Shakir in the first?
He said we can scratch off the Shakira deal. Shakira in the first for Laporta.
So you think Mark Andrews is worth more than Khalil Shakir? Is that right, Brizzleton? Is that your opinion on the matter?
I guess the next question from us then is like, who would you want off of his team? What would that structure look like in your eyes, so then we can get an understanding of where you're at? Because if you're going to come up and say you want like a Chris Olave or Rashee Rice,
that's ridiculous. You gotta look yourself in the mirror.
You gotta look yourself.
Could have the stack with Allen. Yeah.
Yeah, come on. And you know, Shakir, man. He's the wide receiver one there. Ain't Keon Coleman, ain't shit. Dalton Kincaid, no one's believing in him. They just gave him a long-term contract extension. He's the guy. You want a slot wide receiver just in case? I mean, look, Lamakonki, he missed a couple games last year. Chris Godwin, when is he going to be ready? You just don't know. You need another guy.
With Bowers and Andrews, if you move Laporta, because with the Shakir in the first deal, you would have more than enough. With the Shakir deal, you would still have Bowers and Laporta anyway. Either way, I think those are pretty fair. I mean, I think you're in La La Land if you think we're going to send you Olave, Pearsall, Rice for a Mark Andrews type of deal.
You want a first next year for Mark Andrews.
You're not getting a first for Mark Andrews. That offer does not exist in any league, even in a tight end premium like this. Maybe it exists in your league, but he's saying Laporta.
So you want a first?
Okay, so there you go. So let's do the shit. So these
Okay.
are two, in my opinion, these are two incredibly fair deals. So
Okay, so
maybe
Shakir
one
in
of
the
those
26 versus and Laporta.
maybe one of those work out for you two.
Do you like that, Jonah, or what are you thinking? I want this trade to be sent right now, and I want a screenshot.
Well, let's keep looking at some other teams. Let's see if there's another team that we might be able to whip a deal up for. Like I don't mind like a cheap Evan Ingram. The Hawkinson guy is interesting.
Jonah's in. Jonah said, "Send me on sleeper. Let's make it happen."
And Joku's there. So the Ingram owner is interesting to me. If Bridge is unwilling to do the Andrews deal, I think I would send that same deal for Evan Ingram. Because I think you can afford to with the depth that you have. Obviously, in an ideal world, you can do that for Tucker Kraft because of his age. But yeah. And look, maybe you know, if I think Kraft is worth more than Andrews in most consensus rankings. So if you need to throw like a 3rd and a 4th round pick swap on top of that or something, you know, that could work. This guy's named himself Tight End Factory, but he doesn't have a single tight end in the top 7.
That's literally nothing.
So you played yourself. Congratulations. Yeah, and that guy wanted Rashee Rice for Kyle Pitts, so he's fucking high. Excuse me. Family friendly stream. Those are the main deals that I think make sense. And look, Kincaid, let's keep in mind that Kincaid, we found out he was dealing with an injury for the majority of the season. Okay? So we should give him another year. But our expectations should be very low at this point. But honestly, would you rather do this trade where you get Andrews or Laporta, or just spend all your fab on Arroyo? And rock Arroyo Kincaid.
I would.
I think either are fine options, is what I'll say. Either are fine options. I mean, you could do both. You could honestly do both in a league like this. You can make this deal with Briz if he's down, and then you can look at the waiver wire as well. But
I want a screenshot of the trade. I want a screenshot of the trade. Send it to me.
But I think those are the deals that make the most sense. Yeah, like if you have to fill tight end, we're not really interested in moving like a Rice, Higgins, Marvin, Jefferson, Harvey, Taylor, Genty, Daniels, you know. The only way we're moving some of these names if it's like Trey McBride, you know, which we did that Olave 1st and 2nd. And in this format, I'm not 100% opposed to doing something else like a T. Higgins deal. So instead of that 1st, you offer the 2nd and T. Higgins.
Sure.
You know, I'm wondering if we did include a 1st, is there a player that he could give us back on the McBride team?
Let me see. Let's have a look at this McBride team.
So, what a weird team.
It'd probably just be like Jameson, but like.
What about a Hurts Murray swap? So you get Trey McBride and Jalen Hurts, and you send them this package plus Kyler Murray. Right? Something like that.
Higgins. You send Higgins, Kyler Murray, 26 first, 26 second. Trey McBride, Hurts, yeah. Tier up twice.
Yeah, it's an idea.
You tier up, yeah. I mean, I don't mind that. I think it's a good trade. Good team for both of you guys. I mean, Bridgeton just got a free team review, so just keep that in mind, Bridgeton. Keep that in mind next time you think about, maybe should I do a team review?
Honestly,
this is a great team. Both of those guys, both of these teams are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let us know if you have any final questions here, Jonah. But it was a fun review to have you both there. I'd love to know if you got a deal done, but obviously we'll have to wait and see, and see what happens there. McBride is probably a hard no. That's okay. You've got other options here. Like I said, from Arroyo to Ingram to Kraft to Laporta to Andrews to Kittle, you've got plenty of options there.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much. Or specifically, Jonah, obviously he submitted it. Jonah, man, we thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the
And you should
support,
be
man.
receiving your playbook here within 24 to 48 hours on the Flock Fantasy Message System. But you can always come back and rewatch this. If anything, I think we did get a couple trade questions on the
Yes.
site.
We'll finish
Probably
with those
ended with
today.
those
Yeah.
one. I think Mr. Anderson.
Shane Anderson here. He is looks like sending away a early first and a second and Michael Penix for the 102 and Justin Fields.
I don't know why it does that. Those were my only pick options. So what's the actual trade? You can just pop it in here if there was an issue.
Yeah, what is the actual trade?
On the YouTube chat. They're late picks. Okay. So you have a late 26 pick, and so you have a late first and a late second and Michael Penix, and you get the 102 and Justin Fields. What's your other quarter? Is this one quarterback? No, it's two quarterback. And you're getting. You currently have Joe Burrow's, Caleb Williams. No, that's not the right team. What's your team name on here? Jaden Daniels, Justin Fields. So you're receiving Justin Fields. So Watson wants more. Is the guy that you're sending or you're trading with. Yeah, the teams I think. So you have Kyler Murray, Michael Penix, Brock Purdy. I'm okay with this trade. I'm okay with that trade. Just based off of your team, you can do that. You can take that hit at that position because looking at your running back room, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, and Omarion Hampton is most likely going to be your pick there. And this is a start 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sorry, I was just telling our devs about that.
Look, I'm okay with that trade. Personally, I would be okay to take that risk.
So it's too late. It's a late first and a late second. Is that right?
And Michael Penix, and he's getting the 102 and Justin Fields.
I don't think it's insane that
Hampton over Travis.
I don't think it's insane that. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was answering his question. Like it just says Hampton over Travis. I think like we both have Hampton as consensus 102. If you want to get the 102 and then trade back to then secure Travis Hunter, and then you can get some more capital there.
I love capital.
Capital.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer Hampton just with that first round hit rate for running backs being so high, 86%. But so don't care so much about sending away the firsts. My concern here is that, and I know this will sound crazy, but there's a range of outcome where Michael Penix is more valuable than the 102 this time next year. There's a range of outcomes where Michael Penix is very good in the NFL. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but if he comes out next year, I mean, he had a 30 bomb in his first 3 starts. He had 130 bomb. You know, who knows what's possible with Michael Penix? Clearly, he'll never have this rushing upside of a Jaden Daniels, a Josh Allen. He'll never reach that tier. But we saw CJ Stroud in his rookie season have a really good year, and people valued him as a top 3 asset in Dynasty football. So there is a range of outcomes here, which is slim, that Michael Penix himself is more valuable than the 102 this time next year, okay? And then you basically gave up a first and a second for Justin Fields, which nobody would do. So that part of it is really concerning. I'm just seeing if there's something else that we can do to make this less risky for us. Like, for example, wow, you already have Gibbs and Bijan on this team.
And that's why he said he's looking to take Travis Hunter. So it's a big risk to do this. Like if you were to make this trade and you want Travis Hunter, I think you potentially tear down again, Shane. I mean, I don't think we've seen Travis Hunter go at the 102. I would probably wouldn't. No, go ahead.
What about adding like a Drake London and a Chris Olave to the deal? Would they do something like that? Because that would make things a lot easier. or is that just out of pocket? Like, can you add that third as well?
Drake London, Chris Olave at the third.
That feels more in the wheelhouse of where I'd want to go. If they're not interested in a move like that, then let's see what else we can do. Like, can we grab a Bucky and send back a Chuba? You know, like those are two more ideas that I would explore myself.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps, Mr. Anderson. Let us know. I don't know why, but I can't see the YouTube chat. It's not working for me.
Oh, okay. Can you guys still hear us? Are we okay?
It's just it keeps saying something went wrong, but on my end, I'm not necessarily sure if that happened.
Let us know if y'all can still hear us.
I don't know if you can
PR,
still see the YouTube.
Okay, they hear us. That's good. All right, PR Fit here with the trade question. Appreciate you. Thanks for the submission on the site. Really appreciate when you guys submit on the site, just because YouTube doesn't take 30% of your donations there. So appreciate that big time.
And that was just a good example, guys. Like, obviously, maybe you're watching this later and you've been donating on YouTube. You saw how, like, we kind of looked at Shane's team. I was like, oh, like, I think you can do this or that. Apparently my mic is messed up right now. Is it crackling?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is.
All right, it should be better now.
Okay. I should be better.
Okay.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
This is another question here. I'll be honest. I am shocked. There was no context included. Maybe PR Fit is with us on the stream, but this is so far from being accepted for me. It's not even close. I'm wondering if it was submitted properly or not. But I would have Nico Collins and Rashee Rice pretty close in my rankings. This is not using my rankings right now because I do not have Rashee Rice as wide receiver 20. He's more wide receiver 14 for me. I'm very high on Rashee Rice. So there's just not a chance in hell I'm also sending Harvey and Adunze to make it Nico Collins.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
This is crazy. Yeah, I agree.
You can maybe justify like Rice and Harvey, and then you also getting a second and removing Adunze entirely. But
he's just trying to tear up in his league there.
Yeah, this is just far too high a price for Nico Collins. And I like Nico. But if Rashee Rice is healthy, and I know that's a question, but right now all the doctors I trust say he should be ready week 1. If he's healthy, on a point per game basis, what do you think the difference between Rice and Nico will be this year? Because I'm not sure it will be that much.
Yeah. PR, what's your team name on Flock fan, like on this trade question that you have here? Because this is a start 9. Like, why do you need all this depth? Are you trying to tier up because you have the depth to do that?
Well, that's why he's saying he doesn't need the depth. He's trying to tier up, but I think he's giving up too much to do so.
Yeah.
So this is his team here. It's offer pending. So he's in a start 9. He's starting Allen, Hurts, Saquon, Taylor, Thomas, Puka, Hawkinson, and then he only has 2 other spots to start between Harvey, McCaffrey, Rice, Wilson, and Dunze. So I understand, but this is the type of package you send for a Malik Neighbors. Like,
and this makes sense.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, this makes sense now. So you got guys that you're probably never going to start. RJ Harvey, Rome Odunze, and then who was the other guy? RJ Harvey, Rome Odunze, and Rashee Rice for Nico.
Yeah, it's not enough for. It's just way too much for Nico, in my opinion. Like, that's the type of offer I'm sending for Malik Neighbors. You know.
Yeah, and I think
Jefferson.
I think that's true. What Scribble is saying, like, it does ignore a lot of these guys' upside. Like, you would be upset if both Rashee Rice, which, by the way, Rashee Rice, before his injury the year before, in that money stretch, was like a top 10 wide receiver, top 12 wide receiver.
He was a top 3 wide receiver before.
Yeah. Rome Odunze hasn't.
Oh, you're talking about his rookie season? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking about his rookie
Okay, yeah,
season
top
because
12, yeah.
last year he got injured, and then Rome Odunze hasn't even had that opportunity. So you could potentially be sending 2 top 10, top 15 wide receivers for Nico Collins in a league like this where you have, I understand, trying to tier up, and then RJ Harvey. I'm not necessarily sure what, because you said got
Yeah,
a BP from the domain guys, and they recommend up tiering to guys like Amon Ra, etc.
yeah.
Sure. So they're telling you to use some of these assets to tier up
I
because
don't
you
know
have
exactly what
it.
packages they would have suggested, but just for us in particular, like this would be too much. But I would say if like even removing a Dunze feels like I'm paying too much for Nico, and I love Nico, but maybe that's because I'm far higher than others on Rashee Rice. Maybe that's my take kind of showing, but yeah, I mean, we can't give you a full review of the team, but I would say that's the type of package I would do for a Neighbors, for Jefferson. But you can also consider going like a Drake London route instead. So, for example, sending like Harvey and a Dunze. Does that get you to a Drake London? Or Garrett Wilson, and like Tootin. Does that get you to Drake London? You know? But I don't even think you need to upgrade. Honestly, I think I would rather. Like if this was my team, I'd rather try and turn Hawkinson and Wilson into McBride or something. You know.
Yeah.
I don't really know that you need to really look at
agree.
wide receiver that much personally, but
Yeah, I kind of would agree there, and I think, look, I really don't think you in a team like this, I understand up tiering, but you still have a lot of high upside guys. So
yeah. But hopefully that's helpful. Again, you know, we can't like with the trade question, we can't sit down and break down the whole team. Would love to have a look at your team, by the way, on with the team playbook and everything, but no pressure. But yeah, overall, feedback is it's too much. And if you're going to make an offer like this where you're overpaying, then do it at a place that's going to really impact your roster, like the tight end spot. I like Hawkinson for sure,
exactly,
but
exactly
using Hawkinson and Rice, using Hawkinson and Wilson, you know, using Hawkinson, McCaffrey in a first. I don't know, to get to that range, you know, makes a little more sense. But yeah, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for letting us review that trade for you, my dude. And
yeah,
sorry
thank you so much, man.
if it's not exactly like what you wanted to hear. It's just, you know, the honest feedback. Yeah. Let me refresh, but your time code might be off, but you were here live when we reviewed it, the trade anyway, so you'll know that. All right, for Bossman and Spherical Jet, I'm gonna do your offline playbooks here when the stream ends. For anyone else, oh shoot, Spherical Jet only gave a screenshot. Okay. For anyone else, you can submit a team playbook and you'll be at the top of the queue for next week's stream. That is the end of our streams for this week. We appreciate y'all big time. Thanks for all the love. Thanks for all the support.
Oh yeah.
And
it's been a great week.
Yeah, have a good weekend, and we'll see y'all very soon. Nothing but love.
Love.